Every time?
Every time.
That's what we want. We want to see peaking.
Want to see peaking.
Want to see peaking. Oh, look at us.
Each peak is a new plateau.
What?
I don't know.
Wait, okay. Does that mean like each one of your new peaks becomes your new low because you're constantly improving?
Yeah, you're constantly improving.
Ugh, it's too early for that.
Too early? Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. It's November 12th, 11th. What's
11th.
today's date?
Happy
Oh
better.
my God. Hey, everybody. It's November 11th. We are saying Happy Halloween because of today's video. I mean, whoa. Today's movie.
Today's movie. Yeah.
Happy Halloween. We're going to take you back 11 days.
Yeah, rewind the clock.
Let's Freaky Friday this scenario.
But honestly, like at first we were saying, okay, if we're going to make a splash coming back for season 2, like, okay, we should obviously jump on Halloween Ends. But then we waited and then it was 2 weeks after, almost 2 weeks after
Yes.
Halloween. But then I was thinking that this movie's actually more than appropriate because it honestly is not dependent on the holiday of Halloween.
No,
It
not
could
at all.
it could be Veterans Day ends. It could be Flag Day ends.
Happy Veterans Day, by the way.
Happy Veterans Day. It's
I mean,
tangentially linked to Halloween, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Of the 3, so we've now seen all 3, this one has the least to do with the night of Halloween.
Least to do with the night of Halloween, and I could never tell what day it was. I was confused if every day was Halloween or if only one day was Halloween. It was very unclear until the last 15 minutes when they give you the graphic that says October 31st, which I know is Halloween.
Yes, yeah. I felt the same way. I mean, we started on a Halloween, but it was
Halloween.
a past Halloween. And there was a lot of math involved up top because Lori, spoiler, is an author now. She's an author.
Lori is healed.
She's a lot of trauma therapy. A lot. I was like, oh my God, get this therapist a fucking bonus.
I love
Holy
this.
shit.
I love this.
It's been 4 years since I've seen my monster.
I love this movie because the 3 movies have been about trauma, and I think unintentionally this movie definitely trauma shames people who can't get over who can't get
over it.
Because she trauma healed in the better part of 2 years.
Yeah, she said, so, okay, up top, I was having a hard time because she's like, it's been 4 years since I've seen my monster. And I started immediately doing math. I was like, okay, Halloween kills. What was that, 2019's Halloween?
Yeah,
2022.
I haven't seen it since then, but I feel like it was very much set in 2019. Like it was set, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't right.
So then, like, that was the last time she'd seen Michael Myers. It's been 4 years.
I guess so.
But I guess 4 years is a good amount of time for healing. But I was like, damn, she's doing great. Her house is wonderful.
She's like at that point in therapy where you've taken one step and then you feel the need to sort of tell everybody that you're healed and almost make them feel bad. Like
me.
Like, oh my God.
Me.
Did you know that you could just feel better if you took care of that? And you could just.
Did you know you could really heal from that?
And she definitely uses her BetterHelp.com knowledge.
Use code Chanel Riccio for 20% off of your first purchase.
When she counsels her granddaughter.
You can be angry. But just be careful because it gets addictive.
It gets addictive. Babe, slam the microwave.
Slam the microwave.
I knew what she was saying, but I also think it's okay to tell someone don't slam the microwave.
Yeah, don't slam the microwave.
Break it, you buy it.
Look at this house. Look how nice it is.
Well, what was confusing about Lori's new home is that not a bunker. She was living in squalor, and now she has a beautiful kind of Victorian home. No job that we know of.
Maybe she got an advance on the book. That's all I could think of.
Right, she got an advance on the book, or she got some sort of really good settlement for Michael Myers burning down her house, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how
Oh,
you take insurance, or I don't know if she took him to court and she got a settlement.
She pulled him from the sewer and put him on the stand.
Yeah, she took him to Judy Justice and she got a quick cash settlement from Michael Myers. And now she has a new home. But we don't see Laurie going to work in the same way that we see Allison going to that.
Oh, Allison's putting in the work.
That minute clinic that she's at.
Allison did well for herself. Mom, dad dead.
Well,
really turned her. She was fine.
She did do well, although, and I think it's okay to say, I don't think she's a very good nurse.
No, she's like support staff.
She doesn't have very steady hands, and
she doesn't get the promotion.
She doesn't get the promotion, and we definitely only get one side of that story. I would have liked to have seen the other nurse.
Deb was insufferable.
She was so funny.
Deb was unhinged. I was like, shut the fuck up.
I would watch a movie.
It was actually that really fun scene where Allison says, do you ever shut up?
That was funny.
Right?
That was funny, but I would watch a spinoff of Deb in nursing school. I would watch that. I would watch 3 movies about that. 3 movies.
Deb goes, I want to see Deb take an exam.
I want to see Deb take an exam. I want to see Deb mingling.
Get that Botox that she so really had.
But yeah, so now we're at Deb. But this movie,
we were gonna like catch up a little. We were gonna say hey to our audience, and we just can't. Like, we can't not talk about.
We've been craving it, and it's here.
Oh, I've been craving it.
And I think that it's good that it's over. I think it's good that it's over because I don't think that there's any story left to tell.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I wanted to bring up our prediction for last time was that we were going to get Halloween morning, like the next morning.
Oh, right.
Do you remember? And I remember being so set and sold on that theory. I remember being like, okay, Halloween kills, boom. Now it's dawn. Now we have to see where Michael Myers goes from here. And I remember us thinking it was going to be like a 24-hour movie. Why did we think that? Why did we think there couldn't be a time jump?
Okay. I
thought it was impossible. I was like, there's no way he runs again.
No way he runs again. And the way that Halloween Kills ended, which was with Judy Greer being killed, and it set up this tension where Michael was within 100 yards of Laurie and Allison, and it just seemed like the natural conclusion is that it was going to end as the sun was going to rise.
Yeah, it was going to be a Harry Potter part 1 and 2 scenario. We were just going to pick right up where we left off. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's weird because it almost implies that everybody just dissipated and went home, and now nothing's happened for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, weird. Her boogeyman disappeared 4 years ago.
And and this speaks to the way that they handle Judy Greer, because I mean, this is Jame Lee Curtis's daughter. This is Allison's mom. They were acting like they threw away a piece of trash in the wrong container. The way that they were talking about her death. They're like, oh, mom. Oh shoot. Oh, your mom died. Oh, darn. And move on. I didn't
see that. I didn't really see a lot of that trauma. I guess Laurie really has healed because I didn't see much. It was gone.
Well, that was what was so interesting is that, okay, we've spent the first 2 movies processing Laurie's trauma from...
It's a movie about trauma, people. We know.
Processing her trauma. And you would think that there would be a few moments to process the trauma of her daughter dying and Allison's mom dying. Now, I do think that they were trying to let us know that because Allison in this movie was definitely acting up, I think that they were trying to say that was how she was processing. But if anything, Jame Lee Curtis seemed really relieved that Judy Greer was dead.
Michael Myers killed my daughter.
Yeah,
that's all we got.
More room in the house. So... More room in my nice new house. But
oh my God, I would love to know how she got that house. It was gorgeous.
But I do think, okay, so starting at the beginning, we open on I guess a cold open scene and
a Halloween.
I don't know if they give us the date.
It might have been the very next year after Halloween Kills.
Okay. I mean, it's
Because the
definitely
little
between
boy,
that.
Jeremy, is really like getting his lulls in. He's like, haha, the boogeyman, and you think he's still out there? And we're like, shut the fuck up, kid.
Yeah, so we have a male babysitter coming in, which the movie handles in a very strange way. Like they're um, by the way that the dad interacts with the male babysitter, they're almost implying that it's like gross or weird that he's a male babysitter, and that sort of went nowhere. But they do then reference, they call him like a pedo killer later on. Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
very weird treatment that they were doing with a male babysitter, and it felt strange to me.
They were
um
making a real song and dance out of how like almost good of an influence he was. Like, yeah, like Jeremy really like would look up to him. Like he's a good student. He's whatever. But you're
right,
right. It's like they don't really go with it after that.
don't do anything with it. And we walk in, or he walks into this nice house, and the mom is all over the place. She
She's a
is,
lot. The moms in this film are a fucking lot.
yeah, the moms are really acting up in a way
They're
that,
not okay.
and then so the mom is acting up, she's all over the place. The dad is doing this weird, like, sad piano playing.
He's doing sad dad. He's doing sad dad.
Yeah, he's doing sad dad, but he leaves a beer on the piano, which I can only imagine leaves a ring on the wooden
It's an expensive
piano.
piece of, machinery.
Yeah,
Be careful.
and it I just didn't know what they were trying to communicate about this family.
It was a wonky family. It felt not very grounded in like the realm of reality. It is a family
Right?
that loves Halloween. Weird, weird. Have you ever met like a grown mom and dad that are like so stoked for a Halloween party? It's like no.
And the
No
mom
one
tries to
behaves
play
like
it down.
this.
She's like, "Oh, I guess I have to go to my husband's company Halloween party, so I just threw this on." And I'm like,
Just threw
"You
together this little number.
you planned that weeks ago, and that's fine, but just
Own
live
it.
live in your truth."
Own it.
Um,
Yes. It's weird. This town, I was so shocked. From a lot of trauma around Halloween. They love Halloween. They
they
love it. They
they can't
still
get
love
enough.
Halloween.
They can't get
Everyone
enough.
is party, party, party.
Yeah.
Allison attends a fucking Halloween party. What?
Yeah, and we'll get to that because that was very confusing
get
as
there.
well. But so the mom also, she's also sort of throwing her kid under the bus by making him sound like a little bit of a weirdo, and basically implies like, listen, just let him play for 20 minutes and then put him to bed. He's going to act up. And the whole time I was watching the scene, I just didn't know where it was going, except for I'm just thinking, okay, Michael Myers is going to come in and he's going to
Yeah.
kill the babysitter. And then this kid is going to have some sort of trauma
Yeah.
by it. Like that's in my mind the only logical conclusion for this weird
Yeah.
scene.
I was expecting like a rehash of the original new kid, new trauma. And it never crossed my mind that Corey would become our main character.
Never.
This was the
Never.
total lead of this movie.
Never. And I guess I should have known that this was, I mean, his name is number 2 in the credits, but I had no idea who this actor was. So
Yeah.
I had no
Newbie.
idea that we would be spending the whole movie with him.
Yeah, shook.
And they were like,
So
so then the parents leave and they are a little naughty because they watch Halloween movies.
immediately watch
Immediately.
horror flicks. Right after mom said, don't you dare, because he will get nightmares.
And then what's his name? Corey, the main guy's
Yeah.
Corey. Corey was
Corey.
like, it's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight. Which is just
Yes.
like a weird sentence to say to someone who's, I don't know, 10 years
9.
younger than you. It was just weird. So they're watching scary movies and
Getting spooked.
they're both scared. They're both
Yeah.
clearly scared.
Hmm.
And the little boy, I guess, is projecting, and he says, you ugly ass boy babysitter. You suck at babysitting. That's what he says.
This little boy was a show boat. Okay,
Yeah.
like sometimes they go for like realistic little child actors. This kid had tap danced before. He was a showboat.
He was a show pony, and
I
he
loved it.
he didn't want to get off the stage, and
Jeremy, you're about to die, Jeremy.
you're about to die, Jeremy. So enjoy it. And honestly, like the sequence of events is sort of lost on me, but
Mm-hmm.
they then start running around the house, right? Or playing
It's
hide
like,
and
let's play
seek.
hide and seek or something. Classic Halloween.
Yeah, and it's
Also,
a
was
big
this
house.
before air or was this on air that I said I didn't know
What?
how Jeremy died?
No, I think that was before, but
That was
you're
before we hit record, right?
you're
We're getting there. We're getting
you're
there.
yeah. So they're playing, I guess, hide and seek, but they're
Hide and
also
seek.
but what they're also intersplicing these scenes where Corey opens the fridge and there's a beer and milk, and it's like,
Yeah,
what's he
what
gonna? I
is
guess
that?
I guess they were trying to convey to us that he's making the right choices here
Yeah, because he
because
goes for the milk
he goes
or
for the milk,
whatever.
which is like weird in and
Disgusting.
of
Ew.
itself.
Yeah. He's
So he
innocent.
goes for the milk, and then he goes to look for the child, unclear, and
Mm-hmm.
then somehow they're up at the very top of the stairs because he hears some banging up there,
Yeah. And they
right?
make a real show in the kitchen too of like the knife is missing. So that big clue for the audience
Right.
to be like, oh my God, Michael Myers is in the house. And that's what we want. We've signed up for a Halloween flick. Like bring
Yeah,
Michael
I
home.
barely know Corey, and I'm fine with him dying. Like that's
Me too.
fine. It's here. That's what's gonna happen. It's
Mm-hmm.
like let's just do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we.
he hears banging, he runs upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where my brain pulled a little switcheroo on me. I
Mm.
didn't realize Corey is the one locked in the attic.
Yeah, this was very like felt very like that scene in Sixth Sense where like the kids bully him and then they put him in the like that closet at the top of the stairs. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of confusing how Corey got
How'd he get there?
into
How'd he get locked in?
how he got locked in and then how the door got unlocked. It was all very I'm sure a simple rewatch would clear this up, but
We're not going to do that.
we're not
We're
going
not
to do
going to do
that.
that.
So
I re-skimmed it this morning, and in theaters, I was convinced that Jeremy, the little boy, locked
mhm,
himself in a room,
right.
and Corey was trying to get that open,
Yeah.
and I was convinced Michael Myers killed Jeremy. No,
Right.
no, Corey gets locked in the some room, some
Mhm.
attic.
Right.
I guess at the hands of this 10-year-old kid.
I think that's what they're trying to convey to us because we never see Michael Myers, and maybe I totally
Yeah,
misread this
not in that
scene and
sequence.
he's supposed to be there or something. But from what it seemed like is that Michael, the boy locked Corey in.
Yeah,
I think what
Corey starts
happens,
freaking out. He's like,
Corey's
"Let me out!
right, and then his
Let me out!"
I think the little boy then hears his parents come home, so I think that he unlocks the door.
And then Corey swats him
And
back
that's when
at the
Corey
door.
slams the door open,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
And Jer Bear flips over the
he
the
falls
staircase.
he falls 19 stories and he
It's a
dies.
big house, guys.
Big
It's a really
house.
big house.
Big house. And he's
It's
dead.
a good kill. It's funny. It's funny.
It's just
This movie has
so
laughs.
yeah, it's sort of it did catch me off guard. So the first time I saw it, I definitely thought to myself, okay, that's interesting. Like they're trying to do something new here.
They did. They really did try to do something new. And I think it threw the whole audience off because we were all looking for Michael Myers in that opening sequence. And I think he wasn't there. I think there
Right.
was no Michael Myers
No,
there.
no. I think for sure there was no Michael Myers, and I think
He was the boogeyman, like quite literally in those sequences.
Yeah.
Opening.
and
Yeah.
this begins, I guess, the theme that they're trying to support during the movie, because one of the questions we've had, especially when we watched Kills, and especially whatever the first one was called, I guess Halloween,
Halloween 2018.
was that it was very confusing what they were trying to say, like who
About
or
evil?
no, well, who or what Michael is. Is Michael a person?
know.
Is he
Is he mortal? Is he an idea? Is he the boogeyman?
is he the boogeyman? And I think this begins the thread that they're trying to hold on to, which is that Michael is a human, but he's created, through these experiences.
Through like
And
evil acts of evil.
as we'll see with the unhoused gentleman by the sewer, it also
Mhm.
becomes unclear whether or not the Michael that Laurie kills at the end is the actual Michael from the 70s, or whether or not like people have just taken over this persona over the
role.
years.
Yeah, because the unhoused gentleman, as you so eloquently put it,
Thank you.
he's like, "Give me the mask. Let me be Michael Myers." And it's like, oh, so we can role play if we want. If you can get your hands on that mask, which it doesn't seem easy to get your hands on that mask.
No.
You too can be Michael Myers.
You too can be Michael for 3 easy payments.
Yes, of 1995.
So then we cut to the song and we get the cast.
Beautiful. Favorite. Yeah. Love the opening titles.
It is a jolt.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
So then
Open on Laurie, writer Laurie.
Laurie.
Trauma movie. I just wrote at this point, Laurie's a writer now. I mean, good for her. I really think that's how she paid for the house. I'm going to stick to that story. Mm-hmm. And I wrote, her trauma therapist should get $1 million.
Yeah, she is. She does a nice voiceover of the past 2 movies in case you forgot. She lets you know what happened.
I haven't seen My Monster. We get it there in 4 years. I started doing some quick math in the movie theater. I was nervous.
She basically says that she's healed. There's very little mention of dead Judy Greer, and everything seems like it's okay.
Yeah, it seems great. She's doing wonderfully. I almost can't believe it. I cannot. Is this the Laurie from 2018? Shocked.
Can't be. But it is. And this is the first day. This is the first moment where I'm also confused because I'm like, normally these movies take place on Halloween and end on Halloween. So I'm watching this scene thinking it's Halloween morning.
It's Halloween again. Yeah.
Right? Because these movies only take place on Halloween. So
it's in the title. So.
Right. So I'm sort of just watching this and thinking, okay, this is the morning of Halloween. Where are we going to go with this?
Yeah. I'm almost like it's the next day after Jeremy has died or something.
Or the next day
like
after.
On or around Halloween still.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the point in the movie theater where I started coming to terms with the fact that we weren't getting a continuation of Halloween Kills. And I was like, oh. Right. I was really married to that idea, I have to admit.
Yeah.
I was
yeah, now that you say that, I feel regret I didn't feel before. So that's tough.
I'm so sorry to give that to you.
So we're in her house and okay, so right.
Yeah, we're
so
just getting a little slice of life. Little slice of life. Slice of life.
Then we go to this like gas station convenience store and
these are some real Gen Z bullies. Oh my God.
A diverse set of bullies, but diverse in their extracurricular activities.
My God. Oh my God.
Which I really enjoyed. One was in the band. One was in.
I think that the writers had. I think they know that Gen Z is sort of post-bullying. Like I think they understand that. Like they're a crowd that doesn't really have that classic 80s bully, like, hey, loser, what's up, jerk? Yeah. But the writers of this movie were of the 80s, so you could see them
It felt very 80s bully group.
It was. They're basically trying to map an 80s bully onto a Gen Z kid, and it was chef's kiss hilarious.
I really enjoyed the bullies. I thought they were very funny.
They were an acting company in and of themselves. I would watch another movie with them as well.
Oh, for sure. And I thought that in this scene where he's drinking milk in the parking lot again.
Another cup of milk. Yep, chocolate milk. He's innocent.
And they ask him to buy some beer for him, and he says no. It was in this first scene where I thought to myself, definitively for the first time, he's not this actor is not working for me. Something about his performance is just driving me nuts.
Really?
I couldn't deal with his like.
You can't can you put your finger on it? Like, do you know what it was?
Yeah, and I know what it is. He's not good at acting.
Silly fucking me. I'm so sorry.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I know exactly what it was. His acting didn't bother me, but I do think that this movie it was taking its time revealing what it was about. So I'm like, what's going on?
I think my problem with him was that and this might have been the character on the page, and it's not really his fault, but
blame the writing.
The mopey kind of demure presence just didn't meld with kind of the high energy anger that we've come to love from the Halloween movies, especially Halloween Kills.
Like they're revengey.
Yeah, high energy, high anger, and he was just kind of mopey and down in the dumps.
He went like reclusive and like inward with it.
Yeah.
I like that read on it. Yeah, I miss anger. Give me unhealed Laurie Strode. I love that. I want to see her flip out.
So when Laurie's like, hey, enough, and she's at the gas station,
and she stops the bullies.
I was like, that's what I want. I want someone yelling. I want someone, and she's the one who's be like, okay, like, are you gonna do it or am I gonna do it? And he's like,
love, petty.
He's like, what?
Yes.
Drink more milk? And she's like, no, slash the tires.
I remember what I was going to say now. If we read the whole movie as a movie about trauma.
Yeah, which is what we're supposed to do.
Let's not mince words. It's a movie about trauma. Corey's home life you can see he is like a Carrie mom.
He has a Carrie mom, and I think I think that part of the problem with his mom's performance is that she was so over the top that I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to show that his mom was so altered by his experience that she's having this traumatic event, but she went so into the deep end that it just seemed like she had always been that way. But what I think they were trying to show us,
I think she had always been that way.
What?
I thought she had. I got the read that she had always been that way. Like he grew up in this traumatic environment where mom is like speaks for him.
Yeah, she was a lot.
Doesn't give him a say. You want to know who she sounded like? Okay, deep cut. Did you ever watch Teen Mom? She sounded like Janelle's mom.
Janelle. What was her mom? What was her name?
I forgot.
Barbara.
Barbara. She sounded like Barbara, and she's like, me and my sister did the same. When she would go, Kiefer. Your you smoking reefer with your boyfriend, Kiefer. She sounded like Janelle's mom. I fucking lost my shit.
What was her name? Oh, Barbara. Yeah, Barbara.
Yeah, it was Barbara.
Yeah. She did have big Barbara energy from Teen Mom too. Big
Barbara energy. Teen Mom too. Janelle Evans, Jace.
Yeah, Jace.
Love them all.
Okay, that's a good reference point because I guess she probably based her character on that. So
I think she studied the accent. I think she did some accent work.
Yeah.
I was like uncomfortable what they were trying to say about that family. Like they were trying to say dad's cool and mom's a piece of, like mom's not, because dad lets his son have a motorcycle and dad's like, don't tell mom. And
yeah, it was sort of like
what were they trying to say? Mom's the enemy?
Well, based on the way that I was understanding it, I really thought that they were trying to say that mom is having a really unhealthy reaction to all the trauma. And I felt like it was a little bit unfair that they were saying that the dad was able... Fine. Yeah, like dad processed the emotions and now he's trying to help his son. Mom is not. And... When Jame Lee Curtis goes over there, she also kind of sticks her nose up at her. And I thought it would have been a really good moment if Jame Lee Curtis was able to sort of help the mom. But Jame Lee Curtis takes one sniff in that house and she's like, this is bad. You guys are
bad.
You're bad. Mom's bad. I'm out. So it felt very judgmental in the way that like this mom is clearly having a really hard time and we're just going to label her as nuts and move on.
Crazy. Mom's crazy. This movie, you've just made me realize, took pains to try to get everyone in the same room a lot of times.
Yeah.
So like Laurie does trudge on over there to be like, your son's dating my granddaughter. It's like, who does that?
And then Laurie does a lot of whisper acting in those scenes.
Oh, love it.
Your son is seeing my daughter.
When we get to that, I can't wait. There's also another whisper scene where she throws a paper airplane. And I'm like, what was that? But wait, I'm dying. Okay, so after the bullies, we get Allison at the hospital, and her nurse friend Deb is just chewing the scenery.
Deb is fun. She is definitely her foil. She's Allison's foil in this movie, if you will.
Allison goes from having the best foil ever in Michael Myers in the previous movie to Deb.
To Deb. What an upgrade. What a glow up she had.
Let's pit women against each other. I love this.
Yeah, so it's clear that Deb is her foil at work. We get a glimmer that there's some sort of promotion on the line.
Yeah, this reminded me of that J-Lo movie where she thought she was going to get the promotion with no evidence.
With no evidence. Yeah, too bad Leah
Second
Remini
act.
wasn't there to put her up for it, but
To put her name in the hat for the promotion.
The other nurses there are like, "Oh my God, Allison, you're the best nurse ever. You're so good."
Allison, you're shooing for it. And Deb's like, I'm fucking the doctor. I'm getting this promotion.
Deb is getting the promotion, and I'm okay with it. It's fine. It's fine. Also, before this, we get felt like a very shoehorned scene in where Kyle Richards is playing a tarot card reader at Jame Lee Curtis's house.
Yes.
And
yes. So they're friends now. Post trauma, they are friends.
They're friends. She has a nose ring.
Kyle looks great. She's doing great.
Kyle looks great.
Yes, what? Oh.
No.
I was going to say Kyle is doing amazing physical acting for me.
Yeah.
She's walking and talking. She's talking and pouring.
Yeah.
She's talking and flipping cards. The death card, not bad in tarot.
It's not a bad sign. Not a bad.
Which, not like, a bad card.
It takes 1 minute of tarot to know that. So I didn't.
Exactly. So Allison's a fucking idiot.
Well, again, my problem with Allison is that, and again, I think this was, I guess, the writing. She also has a very kind of demure, kind of moody, which at first I thought, oh, I get it. Like, she's a teenager. But then I was like, okay, she's not. She's
like 23.
She's like in her mid-20s.
She's like 25 at this point.
They were sort of giving them that 80s high school angst, but they were too old.
Yeah. We'll just read it as trauma. That's what I will do.
Okay.
But yeah, we get that shoehorned in scene where we introduce that Kyle is like a part of the family now, which is cute. Bring Kyle back.
It's fine with me. And then we find out that there's
a
Halloween party, and Jame Lee Curtis is stoked that Allison is going to go, and she also sort of sets up Allison and Corey because she sees Corey, right? Because she saw Corey at the gas station.
Yeah, so Corey had slashed his hand open, which brings a symbol of Corey's wounded hand.
Yeah.
From the Gen Z bullies. The Gen Z bullies have like cut Corey's hand on. He cut it on a bottle.
No, right. He squeezes that milk bottle so hard it smashes.
Yeah. And Lori brings Corey to the clinic and is like, Allison, here, tend to his wounds.
Right.
Also, you guys should fuck. And Grandma brings him over. And this starts the symbol of Corey's wounded hand, which we'll get to, but it was really confusing. And as this town has had enough. Why do we need to go to a Halloween party? Enough. Oh. Make it a Veterans Day party.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
But not to belabor the calendar of it all, but I'm thinking, frustrated. Okay, I guess today is Halloween then, because
yes. These movies only take place on Halloween.
So I'm like, oh, okay, today is the Halloween party.
Halloween.
When would you have a Halloween party? Halloween.
Yeah.
It's not Halloween.
They were playing with our expectations this movie. Right. I'm consistently just waiting for that bender of a Halloween where Michael Myers goes on a rampage. That's what I'm waiting for.
Right. So they decide
not Halloween.
They decide to go. Allison is dressed as kind of a sexy cat, classic Halloween costume.
That mask looked painful. I don't love a mask. It's sweaty, hurts your face.
Yeah, you're gonna break out. So, and then Corey is dressed as
freaky scarecrow.
Scary mask on Corey. Didn't like it.
I feel your fear through the screen.
When he walked in, I was like, oh no.
Oh my God, why is it so scary?
Yeah.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, I'm a mouse.
I'm a mouse dog.
So he walks in.
Mean Girls, Halloween movie. Can't convince me otherwise, just saying.
There you go. Now, Kyle Richards is the bartender at this kid's party, which, spoiler alert, is not a kid's party because there are also adults there.
Okay, so on second watch, it's Kyle's party. Did you catch that?
No.
Kyle is throwing the party.
Okay,
and
unclear.
when they're in the kitchen and Kyle's doing that physical acting over the tarot deck, Jame Lee Curtis goes like, "Hey, Allison, you have a costume yet for Kyle's part, like for
Kyle
her
Richards'
party?
party.
Kyle Richards' Housewives reunion party." And Allison's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go." And Graham was like, "You should go. Like the most traumatic night of our lives. Like your mom died, but like you should take back the night."
I see.
And it's wild.
Okay, I missed that detail.
So it is Kyle's party. It's Kyle's bartending at the party is what it is. Kyle's the bartender. Whatever. We're really getting bogged down in this. I think we just love Kyle Richards and we want to talk about her.
Regardless, they were so
irregardless.
Irregardless, they were making it. At first, they were making us think it was like a kids' party, and then it was not. This was a cash grab by Kyle Richards.
This is a 21 plus party.
She rented out a space and thought, "How do I turn a profit?" Yeah. So
I was shook at who was in attendance of this party.
Okay, so he's there. They're dancing. They're getting hot and heavy, and then he does his own solo dancing, which is weird. And then he is thirsty because he's been dancing so much. So he goes to the bar.
Needs hydration.
He goes to the bar, and lo and behold, sitting next to him is the mom.
Yeah, Jeremy's mom from the opening, and she's in full costume again, like not as if like
was she still a flapper? It was unclear.
Yeah, she was like a flapper again, right?
Yeah,
the same costume.
Because I think she was wearing the same costume.
Oh my god, this is a note on trauma. You're frozen in time from your traumatic event.
Yeah, write that down.
Right, everyone, write that down right now. Cumulative curriculum.
If you see someone wearing the same outfit they wore on a traumatic event, just put a Post-it on them that says. Needs help. Bookmark this. Like this is the event. Yeah.
Wow. Powerful
imagery.
Loved it.
And she's drunk. They're definitely letting us know that she's drunk because she has her head slouched over and she's sort of slurring her words. And
yeah. And then he kind of just takes it. He just takes it on the cheek, I think. Like, he's like, I'm going to be a bigger person here. And first watch through in the theaters, I was like, Michael Myers killed your kid, not Corey. But Corey killed the kid.
Corey definitely
smacked the kid down the stairs.
Corey gave him a little slap, and he fell off the stairs, and that's what happened.
His head hinges back at a 90-degree angle.
I honestly didn't. I wasn't mad that she was mad. Like, I do think it's a little weird that he didn't get any punishment for killing the kid. I know.
Involuntary manslaughter. Come on.
So I did understand why the mom was really mad.
I get it. She's every right to be mad.
She's every right to be mad.
Hit that microwave.
So she screams at him, and then he storms out.
Yeah, he's kind of shaken up at this point, and he's like he's free property for those bullies to come back, is what happens.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's like a prime suspect, and the Gen Z bullies are back.
Yeah, well, I have to say before this, and I have no acting training. Okay, I have not one class, nothing. But there's a scene. Okay, so they go outside, and Allison is trying to get him to come back to the party, and she makes an acting choice, and she puts both her hands out. Do you remember this? And it was like you could see it on her face that she was like, okay, I've made a choice, and now I don't know what to do with my hands, because she leaves them out like this for the whole scene, and it's so funny to me because it doesn't work, because
I need to go back to
you have to watch it. It's so funny because then she's just holding her hands out like this for 2 minutes of conversation.
That's tough. That's really tough. There's a script supervisor on set that keeps track of continuity, and I imagine this supervisor flying in and saying, hey, you did this in one take.
Exactly.
So you have to do it in all of the takes.
No, that's exactly what it looked like, because at the end it was like this. Like it was like on Top Model when they show them their frame, and they're like, look, you have no follow through in your hand. Like your hand is like limp. You need to follow through. So by the end, her hands were just kind of out there. But
it was
anyway,
a hard day for Allison on set that day.
You're right.
He's probably hurt.
He's walking home, and the bullies are back.
Yes. Yeah. And he tries to connect with them in a very sweet way. He's just like, I know what it's like at home. I know what it's like to be treated like an asshole. Your father treats you like an asshole. It's contagious, he says. And I'm like, trauma movie.
That's very good.
And it's great and it's wonderful, but it doesn't really help because then he gets thrown over the overpass.
He gets thrown over the overpass, but not before they smack his glasses off. And the one says, which I thought was very funny, "Your dollar store designer frames." Which I was like, oxymoron much. Like, what? A dollar store designer frames?
Again, 80s bully mapped onto Gen Z. They tried,
but they also had my favorite character in the movie. She's starting to take more shape, and her name is Margot. And Margot is the girl in the group who knows that the bullying is wrong, but she goes along with it.
Yep,
and that
we
means
love that.
She's a bystander, which means she's even more dangerous.
Guilty.
She's more guilty than anyone because she's seeing it and she's letting it happen.
Not calling out the bad behavior.
And like at the end, like I was expecting, so the main guy pushes him over the bridge. The two of the other friends are shooken up and he says, "Listen, he fell. That's our story." And they all go, "Okay." The three of them get in the car. Margot is standing on the curb and I'm like, "Oh, good. She's gonna she's gonna go see something." And all it takes is get in the car, Margot. And she gets in the car.
Hops right in. Follow her. This is cautioning people against following. My mom growing up traumatized the fuck out of me. She would be like, "You're guilty by association, so don't you dare."
Well, okay, that's what I was thinking when I was watching this. Is that I feel like, especially of the age that we came up in school, which was like this big not renaissance. That's the wrong word.
Renaissance, romanticize this.
Renaissance of bullying, but in a way that they wanted to get away. They wanted to make it go away. We
were whatever that of the DARE program,
a reverse renaissance of bullying. But the
renaissance of anti-bullying.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
The messaging around this renaissance was very much like bullies are gonna bully. But if you're a bystander, you're even more guilty. Like if you're the bystander, you're going to go to jail for twice as long. So
my mom made me feel like that.
Like I felt like I was always told that.
Yeah, my mom would be like, "I don't care about your story. If you're there, you're guilty." Like that was it. Just being there.
If I find out you were the bystander.
Yeah.
And they do that. They do that on that show on TLC that I love. Not my 600-pound life.
Little People, Big World.
No.
7 Little Johnstons.
The one with Dr. Now. I think it is my 600.
Is it My 600-Pound Life?
Maybe. But he always brings the patient in, and he always brings in their friend. The friend is the one who goes and gets them the food. And he always said the enabler. He always goes, one of you is the patient and one of you is the enabler.
Yes.
And then and the enabler always gets the bigger tongue lashing from Dr. Now. So
tongue lashing.
He does.
Oh, we are making a meal out of this. I love it. Margot.
So he falls down. He should be dead. He's not dead.
Dead.
And he runs and he meets that unhoused gentleman who says, like, "Bring me the mask. I'm Michael Myers," or something like that.
I want to be Michael Myers. Yeah.
I want to be Michael Myers.
And then he has like a face-to-face with Eminem, Michael Myers.
He does, because he runs into the sewer. And I wrote down, sewers are scary. There's no denying that. I mean, sewers are scary. But this
sewers are really scary.
And this felt like it felt like they were stealing a bit from It. Like, this felt like...
That's what I was going to say. They gave Michael Myers the It treatment.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Right?
Like, I was just like, I feel like, could we have found any other place for him? Like, okay, what we know about Michael Myers is that he himself had a very difficult childhood. He had his own trauma. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't we expect Michael Myers to be in his childhood house or to be something related to his childhood? So to put him in the sewer indiscriminately just felt like we've seen it before. right? With it.
Yeah, it was a very lurks in the shadows sort of like symbolism. Like he just like escaped to the shadows and like
where's the scary place? The
the
sewers.
sewer.
Okay,
Yeah,
but what's
visually stunning. Oh my god,
Oh, I
this
agree.
that circle,
Oh
very
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. When he grabbed his
Um,
throat, I liked that because it was scary, and I was like, "This is a scary
I
scene."
love when he grabbed his throat.
Okay,
Excellent.
let's talk about that because he grabs his throat, and these two look into each other's
They
eyes,
lock eyes.
and then we get a scene where we get a montage where we get all these images of the
Yeah.
trauma that Corey has faced. Right
Yes. Yeah. All those flashbacks.
now, what's confusing about this scene is that we're are we supposed to believe that in that moment Corey is thinking all this trauma, or is Michael, like, through the power of osmosis, kind of like dementoring that information into
Yeah.
his brain, or is Michael imprinting on him, or are we, or and this was my final option was, oh, is this does this mean Michael was there and he
That's
saw
what
it,
that confused me. I was like, in
right?
theaters when my first pass on this, I was like, Michael was there that
Right.
night, and Michael knows that Corey's innocent, and Michael killed Jeremy.
Right. It
No,
was very
on second
confusing.
watch, I just felt like it was a connection between evil, and it was like it kind of felt like Michael Myers is transferring
I
evil
agree.
at this point.
He's
It was like an
imprinting
osmosis
on him.
transfer, and it was
Yeah.
like, here, now you are like the parasite. You
Yeah.
are evil. And I think it was like, if we're gonna read into it, which we really do read into.
And yeah, let's
these
go to the
things,
text. Let's go
let's
to the
let's
text.
go to the text. Let's go to the source material. If we're really gonna read into it, it's like, yeah, are we born evil, or is evil thrust upon us?
I No, I agree, and I also think that upon second viewing, I think what they were trying to tell us is that because he looks Michael in the face and because Michael doesn't kill him, he assumes that he must be connected to this person. And the reason
Yeah,
that he's connected
yeah,
to him is because he killed this boy, and because he killed the boy, that means he
hmm
is,
yeah.
this person. So I do
Yeah,
agree
it's a
that
real meditation on like evil, and it's like, does doing evil things make you bad, like at your core?
mhm,
And it's like, and like you can have committed evil and choose good, or you can have committed evil and choose bad. And it was
mm,
like, in that moment, it was a mind meld. It was like, Corey's about to take the bad path now. He's
right.
chosen the high road every step of the way. I think that's the purpose of the milk, by the way. It's like each
Yeah.
time he has chosen the high road.
Okay.
And it's like, this is that moment, that stare
Yeah.
down, where it's like, I am not choosing
No,
good anymore.
I think you're right, because then
Right?
it's not until
It's all in the text, people.
it's
We're
all in
not
the text,
magicians. You just
because
have to consult.
you're right, because it's not until he leaves the sewer that he actually kills someone for the first time,
Yes.
which is when he
Yes.
kills the unhoused man outside.
Corey's first kill is right after that. And
Okay.
it's
I
like,
think
boom, he is full evil.
you're right. I think that makes more sense. Like he
Yeah. Guys, it really does take two passes, this movie. Like, you really need a second pass on
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like any sacred text, you need to read it, and you need to read it with friends. So,
Yeah. Consult the text. I love this. Wow.
okay,
Look
got
at
it.
us.
So then okay, got it. So he kills the
So
unhoused
he
man,
snapped.
and he now believes that this is who he is. He is
Yeah. He's
Michael
embodying
Myers.
evil now.
Got it. And then we get another. Okay, so that sort of concludes the night, because then he goes to. I think he then goes to Allison, and he is crying, and he has blood on him. No, sorry, he goes to his house, and
Uh-huh.
he has blood on him, and his mom, rightly so, is like, "What is
What happened?
that?" And he won't say anything.
Yeah. He does that like brooding in the mirror thing. And,
And
that's
then
how we know.
And then the night ends, and I'm like, oh, okay, another day that it's not Halloween.
Not Halloween. Mhm.
Because
But we've already had a Halloween party.
we've already had the Halloween party. So what day is it? Maybe it's, and that's when I wrote, oh, maybe it is a Veterans Day movie, because it's almost November 11th.
I have to admit, I think this would have been absolutely hilarious if they had like on the opening scene, October 26th,
Yeah.
October 27th. Like, I wanted a countdown. Like, make me
Right.
crave it.
But okay, and then we get Lori doing another voiceover, and then I was like, okay, you know what this does fit in with the Star Vehicles we've done so far, because their flippant way that they handle mental health is truly mind-numbing. When she
Love it.
when she writes in her book, TBD if it's going to be released or self-published, suicide or cherry blossoms. I was like, what are we doing here?
LOL. It was great. I loved it. I was half expecting cherry blossoms by the end.
Cherry blossoms, right?
Show me.
Um,
I just wrote at this point, psycho nurse friend gets promotion. Duh. Classic. Lori's new house. Yeah, it's another voiceover with her.
mm-hmm,
And at this point, Corey goes to meet up with Allison in like some parking lot.
mm-hmm.
And this is the first moment I was really confused by his hand, because he takes her hand and it's completely healed, right?
His hand.
It doesn't have it, but it could have been the opposite hand. Maybe I'm off, but he grabs Allison's hand and he says, I killed someone.
Right.
And she fully accepts him. And
she's turned on.
It's sexy to her. It's so hot to her. And I on second viewing, I realized she must not think that he's referring to a new kill, the unhoused man. She must think that he's still referring to Jeremy.
She thinks he's processing.
She thinks that, he's being vulnerable. Like, Allison, I killed someone, and she's like, I know. Okay. Like, it's not spoken.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it until the second viewing, because on the first viewing, I go, he just said he killed someone, and she takes his hand and they ride off into the sunset. What the fuck? I was so confused. But she takes his hand, and then they go to the murder house.
Right. And the manslaughter house. I'm not sure what to make of this romance, but I said, as long as it's not hurting anyone else, why not?
As long as it's... Well, he's hurting many other people.
He is hurting other people. So I guess it is hurting people. I did think it was a waste that house was empty. I don't understand why they didn't just...
Such a waste.
Why they didn't just clean the floor and
clean it, gut it. Hawk the piano. Worth something.
Okay, let's talk about the piano, because the first scene, we get the sad dad playing the piano kind of creepily, and then we have Corey almost finishing the song by playing the piano too, and I'm like, what is the piano a symbol for? And then I wrote music. Like, I didn't really I didn't know what
You wrote music.
I wrote music.
Oh.
You ever ask yourself a question on the page and then you feel the need to answer it?
I don't think I really read into the piano as a symbol at all, but I do think they were taking pains to paint Corey as like sensitive this whole time. And they're trying to paint that dad as sensitive. Like, what dad do you know plays a sad piano?
Not just sensitive, but I think they were also trying to portray the dad as rational and normal, because the dad was...
it makes sense. Men are rational and normal.
Men are rational. Women are emotional.
Women are emotional and crazy.
Right. So, because the dad is like, listen, yes, of course I watched my son get pushed to death. But I thought to myself, he didn't mean to do that. He's a normal guy. Like, my wife is the crazy person because she thinks he's crazy. I'm gonna prove her wrong.
Yeah.
And
again,
show
it's
you that he's normal.
Two displays of how you can go with a trauma.
Yeah. You can either be normal
or insane.
Insane.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with your gender.
Two roads diverged, whatever that poem is. He took the road less traveled.
Okay, I think they could have gender swapped a little bit better here to just make me feel more comfortable. Because, like, after all, the movies should make me a little more comfortable. And, you know, we had crazy Corey's mom, rational Corey's dad. But I think Corey's dad was kind of numb. Like, he was just, like, typical man, like, bottling shit.
He was like, let me give you a motorcycle and that'll fix it.
Yeah, I just feel like, did all the moms have to be crazy?
I agree. No, I agree. All the moms are crazy. All the dads are normal. It's very... And I also think that the over-the-topness of the moms compared to the sort of even-keeled dads only heightens how far off the moms are, in a sense, and it just makes them seem even more crazy. So...
Yep. But whatever. At that point, they go to the murder house, and I wrote, "This movie is fucked up."
It is, because
he's sharing his trauma though and his vulnerability, so it's cute.
I did write here in this scene. Wait, when is Halloween? Are we now past Halloween? And then
no, Halloween hasn't happened yet.
I know. And then my favorite line from this scene is that he says to Allison, "I don't know what's happening to me." And I was like, you're murdering people. That is what's happening. Like, you are...
Evil has taken over, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, but they do this weird dance with him and Allison, because they sort of... he is actually very honest with Allison about what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her when he murders people.
Yeah.
And then
not his fault though. The way she takes it is the way she takes it.
exactly right. You know what she doesn't do ever? Ask a follow-up question.
When was this
murder?
kill?
Who, what, where, when, why? The five W's plus how.
Oh my God. I think it's okay. Wait. Okay. Now I'm just having fun. Now this is just pure fun. Is this like a women savior thing? She's like, I'm gonna save him, and he's finally opening up to her.
Yeah.
And finally, like, taking her back to the murder house, being like, this is where it happened, blah blah. And she's like, wow, I'm really getting through to him.
I think Allison thinks that she has processed her trauma, so now she's going to spread the word of
the good word,
BetterHelp.com, and help him. And then
no free clout. We're bleeping that. We're bleeping that.
And then she's gonna give him her referral code, and she's gonna get $20. So that's what she's gonna do. So,
use my code Chanel Riccio at checkout.
Now, okay, so
we really should plug mental health actually in this episode. We're gonna plug it at the end.
Mental health. .com.
We're gonna plug therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So then we get my favorite scene in the whole movie, which is we go finally unexpectedly to the doctor's house, and it's
fun.
Sexy night at the doctor's house.
We're gonna mention these two things. What? We're gonna mention these two things, and then we're gonna move to that scene.
Oh, okay.
They go to the murder house. Corey goes and murders the cop in the pipes.
Yeah.
And but it's interesting because it's like Michael Myers and Corey are doing like a dance in the pipes. They're doing a dance and they're like kind of tag teaming this kill.
Right.
But we're fine with it because I hate this cop. Like, kill Doug. Thank you.
Right. Oh, right.
And
cop is like that like guy who's like sort of seems to be very abusive with his relationship with Allison.
Yeah.
So,
also, did we believe for 1 second that Allison dated Doug? No. They should have recast that part. That was insane.
No, it was
maybe they were
strange.
saying her unhealthy, unhealed self went for that like idiot.
I think that's what they were trying to say, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was unclear whether or not they were even in a relationship. So
yeah. And I just wrote perfect night for a little sexy time. So I think right after that kill, they have sex. Allison and Corey.
Because she invites him up.
Yeah, and
because
it's implied.
No, he walks up the stairs.
No, he walks upstairs and they wake up. They wake up naked, but the sexy time's implied.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I'm just saying.
Okay, so again, it's another day that's not Halloween.
Another day that's not Halloween. Check.
And then it's another night, and then I think this is where we're at the part with the doctor's house.
Now we're at the doc. I wrote Doc and his hussy.
Yeah, and she is over, and they're gonna have a fun night at his nice house, his really nice house in Haddonfield.
Wow.
And he is like, go get changed, baby girl. And he sends her into the room, and she's
like, let me get my robe on, my sexy robe.
Her sexy robe, which has a little card that says "Congrats on the promotion."
Really rubbing it in this movie.
And she starts to take a shower, and we hear a thud, and I'm like,
fun.
Oh no.
Now it's Halloween.
It has to be Halloween, right? It has to be Halloween. And do you remember the doctor's name?
No.
Okay, let's just say he's Dr. Wilson, whatever. The part that made me laugh so hard is she hears the thud, and instead of calling him by his first name, she just goes, Dr. Wilson? Dr. Wilson? Is that Dr. Wilson?
I think they were like, the audience is gonna forget who this is. Let's name him.
Yeah.
Let's get him. Let's get his name in there.
And
these kills were fun. These were great.
Yeah. So someone wearing the Michael Myers masks, or no,
Corey is wearing his scarecrow
mask.
Comes in, and you think it's gonna be Corey completing this murder.
Yeah.
But it's another tag team.
Yeah, and
right?
this starts this is where, as we've said, they borrowed from it. Now they're borrowing from Jurassic Park, because this is when
Raptors.
The T-Rex works with the Raptors, and they kill. And we'll see that this ends exactly like Jurassic Park, but I'm not going to get to that until we get to it. But yes, they're working together.
Nature finds a way. Yeah, I mean, the kill of Deb was amazing. That girl really got her. She really got her SAG minimum that day. Knife through the chest, and she's like dangling from the wall. This confused me again. Michael Myers is taking pains to do these kills. It's like It's like Corey's an apprentice, and Corey wants to help, and Michael's like, "Take a seat, Corey." And Michael Myers locks Corey outside past that glass door. Michael does the kills, and then Corey holds his hand up to the door, and again the cut is back. That wounding. So I'm just like, is he like a super healer when he's evil and killing, and is he mortal and like, you know, Corey again when his hand is bloody? I don't know. Like, we need to Reddit this hand bullshit.
I don't know. Can't help you with
and
that
and
one.
I don't know, and I'm not gonna look it up, but I guess you can DM us.
So Corey is participating in that murder. The doctor and the woman die. R.I.P.
He's a bystander.
He's a bystander.
He's a bystander.
Um,
And now the movie really gets cooking.
And
Now
now-
he's like to Allison, "We gotta run."
yeah, they have this tete-a-tete on the radio station rooftop. And he's
Yes.
like, "Listen, we got to get out of here. We got to run." Which I actually think is a good idea. Like,
Great idea.
they're not making smart choices. So,
They should have ran like years ago, both of them.
and then Allison is sort of like, okay, he's really cool, he's edgy, and then Corey, you know, it's like when people show you who they are, believe them. He jumps off the roof, and Allison is like, oh my god, and then we find out that he knew that there was like a small ledge below, and he survives the fall, and
He's dangling.
and Allison is like, oh my god, you're cool, you're a cool cat.
Yeah, at this rate, he's like craving adrenaline. Like, he's got a couple kills under his belt, and he's like, he needs to get on a roller coaster. But what he does instead is like jump off a roof.
Yeah, and then
which is fine.
The radio DJ comes out, and he understandably is mad because they're roughhousing, and they're acting up on his property, and he's like, go. And then he's like, you guys being seen together is not a hot look. Like,
No, not good for either of you.
This is not good for either of you, and that is just the spark that the two of them need to be like, we're out of here.
Yeah, let's hit the road, Jack. Yeah.
Okay. They're like, okay, we'll meet together tomorrow night, I guess at 9:00, and we're out.
And we're not sure if it's Halloween or not.
We're not
but
sure.
We'll meet tomorrow night.
He goes home, and he's like, let me see if I should stay. And then his mom slaps him, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Decision made.
Decision made.
I'm out. Yeah. So he's been crashing at Murder House for a night.
Right.
Or Manslaughter House. This was a truly insane scene where I said that this movie just really is trying to get the characters together. And it's like, should we bring them together over a meal? No.
Yeah.
Let's have Laurie visit Murder House.
Okay, Laurie visits Murder House, but before Laurie visits the Murder House, we finally get the graphic that says October 31st.
Halloween, thank God.
And then it's the morning, and you're right. He wakes up, and Laurie's sitting in not a rocking chair, but a chair that she's using to rock in.
Thud.
Slamming the back of it against the door, and they're talking.
Yeah, and the camera lingers on a note in her hands, and I don't know what it is, and it's folded up like a paper airplane, and then she launches it. She launches it with the grandeur of Tony Soprano. It is like pure machismo energy, and she just fucking launches this thing. And I'm like, what does it say? Read it.
I don't know. We don't know. And I also don't remember a single thing she says in this scene at all. I don't remember anything she says.
This is what I remember. He wakes up. It's nice to see you.
Oh, God.
She says that. Then it says paper airplane. He's sleeping at Murder House. Yeah. That was that on that for that scene. She's just I think she's trying to threaten him. Like, get away from Allison.
Right. Like, leave, but don't leave with my daughter. Sorry, granddaughter. Just leave on your own and don't look back.
Don't look back.
And I thought to myself, okay, then she like mysteriously leaves in a flash, very Michael Myers of her. And I thought to myself, okay, out of all the days we've had so far, this day feels the least like Halloween. Like, this feels strange that today is Halloween.
It's a weird Halloween for this universe. Like, where's the cheer?
It does not feel like a Halloween, but then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna act up and
this was crazy. He steals Michael Myers' mask. He meets in the sewers. He goes to the sewer, and wow, after two and a half movies of Michael Myers never being overpowered, Corey is able to get the mask off of him.
Corey gets the mask off of him, and he's like, my time.
my time's now. And then he goes on a rampage.
He goes on a rampage, and this was a really good scene. This felt very 80s-ish to me, like the whole death sequence at the AutoZone car parking lot or whatever.
Fun.
I loved it. I loved the chase. I love the characters being caught. I love the bystander getting run over. Like, I loved the whole setup was good.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We really wanted to see those bullies dead, and I just loved it.
We did. And then, then it's like real quick. We kill all the bullies. The mom gets stabbed.
Mom, and then the DJ, radio
the
guy.
The DJ, and then the poor assistant man. At the DJ office or whatever.
Not fair. This is a movie about bystanders, and like that bystander had to go.
She was a positive bystander. Oh, wait,
the radio assistant, guilty by association. Killer.
You're right.
Witness.
You are responsible for your boss. So, so now we're racking up all these kills.
And this is what we've been waiting for.
Right.
I waited an hour and a half for this at this point.
And then we cut to Lori, and Lori is upstairs in her writer's den, her writer's workshop.
Lighting a jack-o'-lantern.
Lighting a jack-o'-lantern indoors.
In memory of who maybe her daughter, I don't know.
Judy Greer, yeah. Judy Greer pump. It would have been really funny if the face on it was carved to look like Judy Greer. That would have been really funny. I wish she would have done that.
Too good.
She picks up a gun. Or sorry, first she calls the police and says someone's dead at her address.
I'd like to report a suicide. And we were like, oh, no.
I don't mean to laugh because I know it is suicide or cherry blossoms, but we find out that she does not. She chooses cherry blossoms, I guess.
Good on you for finding that. I just was like, oh no, Lori's about to die.
We hear the gunshot, and we
see the splatter of some pumpkin guts.
Pumpkin guts, right. So we know that she's not made of a pumpkin. Right.
Exactly right. Yeah. That's
so we know that something is up. Something is up here. Something's up.
This was truly insane because now a second later.
Okay, second later,
Michael
shows up.
Yeah. And she goes, "Did you think I'd really kill myself?"
Okay.
And I was like, was this for us?
Explain this to me. Are we supposed to believe that he was listening to the police scanner?
I truly have no clue.
No.
To come.
Or is she just assuming that he was out? Okay. There's either two reads of this, right? Which is that he would have been privy to the 911 conversation and showed up. Or he was outside the door the whole time, right? So do
you want to know how I took it?
Sure.
Her like evil lures in evil or something. So like Lori has been like invisible string connected to Michael Myers her whole life. Like she can't escape this man.
Right.
And I thought that Corey as Michael Myers, like the transfer of evil has been complete. I thought he was like drawn. It's like magical realism. We love magical realism.
So he has like a telepathically.
So I just feel like he has a spidey sense, and he is like
okay.
It's like Michael Myers has had a vendetta for Lori for 40 whatever years. So it's like he as Michael is like, boom, I'm showing up for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took it like that. I took it as like a magical connection that they share.
Okay.
But you're right. He could have been listening to a police scanner. He could have been the 911 operator. We don't know.
Okay, maybe. Got it. So any of those
or he could have just been listening, like you said. He could have been in the house listening, and she stages that.
Okay, got it.
I don't know which one I like the best. I don't know.
And I don't know which one I like the worst either. Okay,
same.
Okay, so she's like, bingo, or whatever she says, and she shoots the gun, and she shoots him.
Yeah,
but she doesn't shoot to kill.
She doesn't. Yeah, how is he not dead? I was so shocked.
I think I guess she shoots him in his arm or something like that.
Yeah, just like a disarming shot.
Yeah,
because he finishes himself off.
I love this.
Moments before.
I love that he decides to kill. I mean, he doesn't kill himself all the way, but he does like stab himself.
Yeah, he says, "If I can't have her, duh," and he kills himself or stabs himself.
Stabs himself, and now it looks like Lori has killed Corey because
who shows up at the front door? But
sad Allison. And I'm like, not now.
She's such a drag.
She's such a drag. I was like, literally anyone else. Like, I would like anyone else to show up right now, not you. Shoot.
What about those cops that we called?
Anyone
Also,
else.
Lori has a lover in the cop. We were right in the last movie.
They have a meet cute again.
They have a grocery
at the
store
grocery
walk
store.
and talk.
Yeah, and I'm like, Lori, like, girl. She's like, ever try a vegetable? It won't kill you. I was like, Lori.
Ha 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 ha. Let's joke about kills right now.
She like throws a bag of frozen peas at him.
But okay, so Allison shows up right as Corey has stabbed himself. Fun, right. drama.
And Allison is just like, you would not believe the day I've had, Lori. I'm out. Like,
I will never forgive you.
What's so funny about this scene is that she leaves. She's just like, I can't
with you right now. I just can't. I can't. Grandma?
Her grandmother
I can't.
Has blood on her. Like, it's very much an active crime scene. So to be like, imagine walking in and you see your mom with blood and a knife and a dead person in the living room, and you just go, I can't right now. Like, I gotta go.
And I don't believe that you didn't do this. I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even try to explain yourself, because I've seen enough, Lori.
This is such a classic movie beat, and it happens in almost every movie. There's like some sort of classic like 11th hour misunderstanding where it's like, you didn't really love me, you just like the idea of me, or like, you didn't love me, it was for a bet. It was very much like that beat of like that story beat of like, I can't believe you would do this to me. The first person I've connected with in years, besides that cop that one time.
Yeah. So she
and that guy who died on Halloween in 2018 as well.
Yeah.
You bitch.
And she leaves, and she doesn't even have a full story. He's not fully dead. Like, if you know. But now this is where I said the Jurassic Park comes back, because this is what happens at the end of every Jurassic Park movie, right? Mm-hmm. They're always cooking up a new dinosaur in the oven. And what happens? The new dinosaur lets loose, and who has to save the day? The T-Rex.
T-Rex.
So this is when the T-Rex, Michael Myers, comes back, and he kills the new dinosaur. Yes. And that's when we cheer, because we're like happy that the T-Rex, because you love the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. You do.
Of course.
So
she's the hero.
We're happy to see Michael, because we're like, okay, if anybody can kill him, it's Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael
does. He does. Thank God. Because it's very, it's you and me, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have kissed. That would have been so hot. It's like, these movies are very much, it's Lori and Michael. It's you and me, buddy.
You and me, babe.
And you and me, bucko. And they end up in the kitchen somehow.
Yeah, they start cooking. No, they're like, this is it. Like, okay, choose your weapon. Let's go, let's go, girlfriend. That's what Michael says. And then they start fighting. That. He says, let's go.
He has a great voice.
Let's go, girlfriend. And then they start fighting.
They start fighting in the kitchen. It's wonderful. For the first time ever, she's like kind of able to really get a handle on him, and she puts a fridge on him. It was great.
Yeah, they slam each other into the furniture. It's like a really good fight. Like, they're really using the space.
It's a chicken fight. Yeah, this is great. Great physicality. She slams the fridge on him, and then she rips his mask off. Right, sees that he's just a mere old mortal man.
Yeah,
and then she kills him.
Well, sort of, right? She slams the knife through his hand, and then for good measure, she taps it in with a cast iron skillet. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I did it. Like, I'm that girl. I did it. She's like, oh my God, I have to run upstairs and add a little epilogue to my book. But
at this point, I wrote, Lori's going to need more therapy.
So yeah, I hope she has a subscription still. So before she can celebrate, he grabs her throat, and I'm like, this always happens. This always happens. I've had it with this.
I'm so done. It's like a false ending.
It's a false. But what drove me nuts about this is that, okay, it's like he's dying, and what I thought was going to happen was he is clearly dying, and in his last moments, he's going to take her out too, which I was okay with. I thought I was
cool with it. Yeah.
What drove me nuts is that Allison decides to come back, and she's the one who delivers the fatal blow to Michael. And she gives some sort of like, she gives some fresh line where she's like, you're not going to die today. Today's Halloween. You're going to live.
That's exactly the quote.
Something like that.
I remember.
And I was just like, maybe she wanted to.
What?
You know, maybe
Allison wanted to
no,
kill?
maybe Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to go with him. Like, ever think of that?
Yeah. Yeah, let her go. Let her go. It was very neither can live while the other survives
Yeah,
sort of
that's what I thought they were
prophecy. I was
going
excited.
for. So
I was
I was like,
excited. I
Allison,
wanted a
you're really
mutual
messing
kill.
it up.
A mutual kill would have been really sexy for the ending.
Very
But
sexy. So
we have to give the moviegoers what they want. This is a
I
popcorn
guess
flick.
so.
So,
I mean, you want to see Jamie Lee Curtis survive, I guess, but it's
yeah.
unfortunate that when Michael dies, he doesn't get the same montage treatment that the other characters got.
Poor
So
man.
we didn't get it would have been so funny. I would have lulled if they gave us a montage of every person Michael has killed in his like
an
last,
RIP date.
yeah, like a scroll of all the bodies on the bottom.
It's like the Oscars like in
Yeah.
memoriam section.
Yeah, exactly. There's this sad song that they let Allison sing, which is just Allison talking.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Exactly.
Something like that. But yeah, and then they have to really kill him off for good measure. Like the whole town needs to see the boogeyman go.
Luckily, the whole town is available.
Luckily, everyone has checked their Apple calendar and they're fine. And they're clear because it's Halloween, let's be honest. And
the only person who wasn't in the ending scene, which was mind-boggling to me, is Kyle Richards. Like,
yeah,
did
wait.
they send
Oh no,
her?
she was there. No, I think she was
Not
there.
at the end.
She wasn't.
No, they definitely
she
had a
was
wrap
there.
on Kyle Richards before they filmed this scene.
Oh, she was busy. Well, maybe we're not going to fact check it. I thought she was there, but
Okay, maybe she was. I definitely didn't see her.
this needed to happen for the theme of the movie because the whole theme of the movie was like the boogeyman lives on. Like the whole town loved to shit on Corey because they were like, we have a new boogeyman. We finally have a new person to heap all of our negative. Everyone needs an enemy. We need an enemy. And if Michael Myers is going to run away in the sewers and we're not going to see him for 4 years, we need a new enemy.
Yeah.
So this was a really powerful ending because the whole town's going to band together and watch him get ground up like ground beef.
Yeah.
In a wood chipper.
And then they make burgers. So, yum. So they
Complete
kill
stress
him,
cycle.
and it's very cathartic, I guess.
Yeah, a public slaughter is totally really cathartic for me.
I said the whole town is available and on board for a public execution. Like, because what's interesting about this scene is that, okay, his mask has been removed. We don't know who this person is, and the whole town
it could be
like,
anybody.
It could be anyone.
Lori's like, this is him. Yes.
Let's grind him up.
I swear to God, I just took the mask off of him. I swear. I swear to God.
I swear to God. Let's just do it, guys. Come on, turn it on. Turn the machine
This
on.
This is Michael Myers.
Yeah. So they grind him up, and we are good. And then that's the night. Halloween is over.
Halloween is the shortest portion of this movie.
Shortest portion of the morning, and then the morning
movie.
She's outside. She's kind of bandaged up because she's had a rough night, and she sees her non-vegetable eating lover outside.
Yeah, lover boy.
And he's like, love you, girl, love you, girlfriend.
Yeah, and it's we get like the last voiceover right for her book about evil changing shape or something. Does she say something like that? I wrote that in my notes.
There is a voiceover. I couldn't tell you what she said.
Don't remember it. I hope she said goodbye. Good night and good luck. Good night, everybody.
When life gives you lemons.
Nature finds a way.
Nature finds a way.
Yeah, and like this is a movie about evil shape-shifting and changing shape. And like you can deal with it or you cannot. You can confront your demons or you could not.
Yeah,
and
you can get help.
Honestly, did Corey really deserve this? No. Like he didn't deserve this. They were painting him as a sweetie sweetheart.
Yeah, and I think that's what, and this has been a through line of all these movies, is that I think that what happened is they stumbled into this plot about trauma, and then they didn't know what to do with it, and they didn't know what trauma was, and then they really just like they just dragged it across the finish line, because it was almost like you only deserve to live if you can process your trauma healthy. Otherwise you're done for. Because
muddy messaging.
Right? Like it was very bizarre, and
it was just like it got the better of him and the whole town was really against him. But yeah, it's sad. And you're right. Like he didn't even get really a chance to process it. He didn't have a BetterHelp subscription. His mom wasn't helping.
To your point, right? Like Jamie Lee Curtis has had 40, 50 years to process this, and she's taken all that time.
She's taken all 40. Yeah.
She's taken a full 40. And
Yeah.
he's had maybe 2 years, 3
Yeah,
years.
he's had like 4 since the kill.
So
since the accidental.
He did his best, but it wasn't enough time. And
maybe he needed more. Maybe the message is he needed more support from his family. Like,
for sure. I mean, they're for sure painting the mom as part of the problem.
Yes. And she was most of the problem.
Yeah. She was most of the problem.
She
was the problem.
Mm-hmm. Kifa.
But I'm glad that it's over. The next morning,
I feel so relieved.
The breeze comes through, and I'm like, at this point I could care less what day it is. Like, it's over. And that's literally how it ends. The breeze comes through the windows, and we're done. Yeah,
the shutters are open. Let the sun shine. I think Allison is like, I'm gonna hit the road, baby. Like, I'm gonna get out of this little town. Which we're like, yes, thank you. You should have done this 4 fucking years ago when
Allison,
your mom died.
We're good. That's a wrap on Allison.
Corey at the diner is like, why did you stay here? And she goes, all my memories are here. Yeah, of mom and dad dying. Yeah, get out, bitch.
Remember when her dad died? That was weird too. So.
Oh, remember he was giving weird dad energy. We loved
dad energy. So.
There's a lot of weird dads.
Anyway,
we did it.
I'm glad that we're doing it now, and I'm glad it's our return with season 2, because I would also say that our first season, it worked, because there are so many
We're going to compliment ourselves here.
So many star vehicles that are now out and new that it's like we
brought it back.
We brought it back. So like I'm looking forward to, in this season, exploring some of these newer offerings that are coming out. And seeing how that
we had a hand in bringing back, for sure.
Yeah, we produced them by proxy, and
they saw the Twitter. They found our Twitter.
Yeah, they saw it and they got it. So
yeah, so we're gonna explore some new releases. This is the first of at least a handful of planned new releases, friends.
Yeah.
Should we mention them so maybe our friends can watch them? I don't know.
All right. Well, in no particular order, I think for sure we're definitely gonna be watching Lindsay Lohan's new movie.
Lindsay Lohan's Citizen Kane, her new Christmas movie.
Yeah, I saw that headline.
It was a great headline. I loved
Julia Roberts movie.
Julia Roberts, George Clooney,
Ticket to Paradise, whatever it's called.
Yes, I would love to this is old, but I would love to backtrack to that Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum one, if we can.
Oh, for sure.
Lost City of D or Z.
Lost City of D, Z, whatever. That looked good. There's a lot of fresh offerings, and I'm glad we're done with Halloween, because I need something light. And this was heavy.
Yeah. And you know what? Gotta laugh, because last year we remember when we were devastated. We needed a Christmas movie, and we went for 4 Christmases, and it was the least. That was the worst movie ever.
And of course, we're gonna have to do another
Christmas,
because we've had enough time of break. We do need to do Princess Switch 2, whatever it's called.
No, don't make me.
I'm making you.
No.
Remember, women act erratically. You don't even know what you're thinking.
Oh my God, I don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, of course you are. Anyway,
so yeah,
that's what's on the to-do list. And you know, if you discovered us over the summer or recently, tell your whole town, tell your whole Haddonfield community to download it too.
Get them to rally together. Lure them in with a jack-o'-lantern.
In the same way that Lori was able to get all those people to show up for a midnight slaughter, you should be able to do the same. You should be able to rally your community too. And if you can't, then look in the mirror and figure out what's wrong with you.
That's exactly what I would say to
the listeners at home. That's what the movie's about. Look in the mirror and figure out what's wrong with you, and then fix it. Fix it.
Yeah, take a long, hard look into your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to reiterate from season 1, you tell 2 people, maybe those 2 people tell 2 people, then those
and follow up on those 2 people and say, did you do what I told you to do?
Yeah, give them a phone call.
Yeah, whatever happened to picking up the phone? Pick up the phone.
It's kind of insane. Just no one wants to work anymore.
Yeah, get off
your ass,
guys,
and work.
Ever send a letter? Send a letter recently? Try it. Maybe it'll work.
Some of you have never made phone calls for your local congresswoman, and it shows. Okay, get on the phone. Get on the phone.
Pick up the phone. Okay.
And stay in line and just vote.
If you're in line, they have to let you vote. Okay. if you're in line right now, if you're in, listen, this is serious. If you're in line, stay in line.
Stay in line. Stay in line. This really got away from us, but I'm having so much fun.
Anyway, that's that on that. Chanel, it's great to be back.
Lovely to see your face, Steven. It's been a while.
You weren't as rusty as I thought you would be.
Neither were you.
Well, I know that.
Just give it to me.
I know that. So.
Yeah, I was afraid I was going to be rusty, but I wasn't. I was pretty on. This was great. This was a wonderful.
Give a mouse a cookie. Look what she just can't quit.
This was so fun. I'm so glad we did this one to come back. This was juicy. This had a lot for us to like really sink our teeth into.
Absolutely. Just like that Michael Myers meat. Anyway.
And bringing it all back to the T-Rex.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day, Steven. You guys can find us on TikTok and you can talk to Steven on Twitter if you want.
Before Twitter is taken down.
Before Twitter is taken down. Oh my God,
and we're not taking sides.
No. Big tech. I don't go against big tech ever.
Certainly never would go against big tech.
Wouldn't dream of it. Yeah, and just like tell your friends. Yeah, find us on YouTube, find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Bye.
Bye, Steven. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Is that a threat?